in a game built on toughness, in a league that breaks bodies every week, Jack Crisp just kept standing. Today we tell the story of the AFL's new Ironman. Not a number one pick, not a prodigy, just a bloke who showed up every single week. Jack Crisp's journey starts in Myrtleford, Victoria. Small town, big dreams. He worked his way through the local leagues and into the Murray Bushrangers, where his work rate caught the eyes of recruiters, but he was overlooked in the 2011 national draft. No calls, no clubs. That could have been the end. Instead, Brisbane gave him a lifeline, selecting Crisp with pick 40 in the rookie draft, which, coincidentally, was 2 picks after Collingwood's pick, who they used to select Marley Williams with. Jack's Murray Bushrangers coach said about him, he wasn't a standout, but his endurance and competitiveness were elite. He just needed a shot.
Stand, start, turn, deliver. 2 in a row.
Crisp made his debut for the Brisbane Lions in round 4, 2012 against the Gold Coast Suns, where he collected 17 touches and kicked 3 behinds. He showed glimpses, hard running, defensive pressure, but he struggled to cement a regular spot. 10 games in 2012, 2 games in 2013, and 6 games in 2014. By 2014, the Brisbane Lions were in turmoil. A player exodus in 2013 with the go-home 5, a sacked Michael Voss, and a 15th place finish at the end of 2014. But at the end of the 2014 season, Collingwood Premiership players Dayne Beams asked to be traded to the Lions in order to be closer to his ill father and also to play with his younger brother Clay. This is when Crisp's future changed forever. The 2014 trade period was dominated by one name, Dayne Beams, a Premiership Magpie, a Copeland Trophy winner, a midfielder in his prime. When Beams asked for a trade to Brisbane to be closer to his ill father, it sent shockwaves through the AFL. Brisbane were desperate to bring him home, but Collingwood wanted value, and they weren't going to let a star walk cheaply. The final deal, Beams went to Brisbane. Collingwood received pick 5, which became Jordan De Goey, pick 25, eventually traded for Levi Greenwood, and Jack Crisp, a fringe 21-year-old who played just 18 games for the Lions.
Look at this!
I wasn't getting enough opportunity especially my last year there, and then Collingwood, coming back to Melbourne, it was an opportunity for a bit of a fresh start, and then just to get back to closer friends and family, and it ended up paying off really well for Michaela and myself. The move couldn't have been any better.
At the time, Crisp was barely mentioned. To the media, he was an afterthought. To some fans, just a list filler. But inside the club, there was a different feeling. In 2015, Derek Hine, who was Collingwood's recruiting manager, told the Herald Sun, "We knew we weren't just getting steak knives. Jack had a huge engine and a great attitude. He was ready."
Jack coming into the equation, which gives us another developing player that fits the profile of our list. We looked at it seriously and things sort of moved on from there.
And as it turns out, Crisp would go on to play more games for Collingwood than Dayne Beams did in both stints combined. He didn't just become a bonus, he became the backbone of Collingwood's next era.
Between Cameron and Gawn, and then Crisp. Sharks gathers and goal.
In the early days, you were famous for being the steak knives in this deal. Obviously, you've become a star of the competition, as we've outlined, a 2-time Copeland Trophy winner. Does it offend you, that the steak knives comparison? Because I've heard other players in the past be offended by being referred to as steak knives. How do you feel about it?
Oh yeah, I hate it. Don't get me wrong about that. But I understand where the reference comes from, where I'd only played 18 games in 3 years, so it's kind of understandable.
Round 1, 2015, Jack Crisp debuts for Collingwood against Brisbane no less and gets the win. In his first season in the black and white, Crisp averaged 22 disposals a game, finished top 3 in the Copeland Trophy, and won the Gavin Brown Award for the player who has performed the most desperate acts or 1%ers throughout the course of the season. Jack Crisp's Collingwood journey is a decade of excellence. By 2018, he was playing on the biggest stage, the grand final, still not missing a game. In 2021, he was finally recognised with the Copeland Trophy, Collingwood's best and fairest. He backed it up in 2022, going back-to-back as the club's most consistent and impactful performer. In 2023, he became a premiership player, helping Collingwood win their 16th flag. And in 2025, he made history, breaking the AFL's consecutive games record. Jack Crisp is the second highest rated player for Collingwood over the last 10 years, from steak knives to silverware. Jack Crisp didn't just join Collingwood, he became Collingwood.
Forward, there was a clear goal for Collingwood. This time Briggs with a win. Crisp with a quick shot. Collingwood get their second.
The streak journey. Jack Crisp didn't just play every game, he played through everything. Since round 18, 2014, with the Brisbane Lions, he hasn't missed a single match. Not for injury, not for suspension, not even for load management in an era where players are rotated weekly. That alone is rare. But that's only the surface. Let's talk about what this streak survived. Jack Crisp has seen everything. Collingwood in transition, coaches under pressure, the club outside the top 8 and down the bottom of the ladder, grand final heartbreak, hubs, empty stadiums, compressed fixtures, off-field headlines. Every time he was tested, he responded with consistency, with effort, with leadership. As the club rose, fell, and rose again, Crisp was the constant. From the outside, the streak might look like luck. But talk to anyone inside the walls at Collingwood and they'll tell you the truth. This streak wasn't just built in games, it was built in ice baths, recovery rooms, gym sessions, dance studios, and saunas. Jack Crisp's journey is more than just numbers on a stat sheet. It's about the countless moments of consistency, the silent leadership, and the embodiment of the Magpie ethos. He's the most underrated player in the comp. In every game, through every challenge, Jack Crisp has not only shown up, he's stood tall, earning the unwavering respect and admiration of the Collingwood faithful.
He's going for him now, Dennis.
Well, not quite the time. A pack all around him. Steins over the top. Terrific grab.
But before Jack Crisp, there was Jim Steins, a young Irishman who crossed the world to chase an impossible dream. Steins battled homesickness, injuries, and the odds, just to survive in the AFL. But he didn't just survive. He built a streak that stood for more than 20 years. 244 consecutive games from 1987 to 1998. Through broken ribs, through stress fractures, through unimaginable pain. But Steins' legacy goes beyond the numbers. He became a Brownlow medalist, an AFL Hall of Famer, and one of the game's greatest humanitarians, founding the Reach Foundation to help young Australians find purpose. When Steins passed away in 2012 after a long battle with cancer, the entire football world mourned. He wasn't just a record holder, he was a giant. Breaking his record isn't just about numbers, it's about honouring a standard of courage, resilience, and heart.
I just find that I am at my best when I'm with young people, and they bring the best out of me, and I just love being able to use some of my experiences along the way, and the hope that it might help them, and to date it just seems to help a little bit.
Dacos back inside to Chris. Chris can get a running goal. Penrose in. It's got the distance. G. Brayshaw is interfered with.
Jack Crisp didn't come into the league with hype. He wasn't a number one pick. He wasn't even part of the conversation, but he made himself undeniable. Game after game, year after year, he never missed a week. Not because he was lucky, but because he was relentless, and now he stands alone. The most durable player the game has ever seen. He never chased the record, he just earned it. Jack Crisp is the AFL's new Ironman.